Good evening. Today we will understand Pakistan's emphasis on the return of Afghan refugees. For decades, Pakistan has hosted millions of Afghan refugees, but now a firm stance has been taken: return home. Why is Pakistan pushing for their departure? Well, the answer lies in national security, regional instability, and the fractured governance in Afghanistan. No country can afford unchecked movement across its borders. National security demands control, and Pakistan, like any sovereign state, prioritizes its stability. Illegal crossings increase security risks that no state can ignore. The open border between Pakistan and Afghanistan has long been a concern. The lack of proper documentation raises the possibility of infiltration, smuggling, and criminal activity. Pakistan insists, if you want to stay, you must come through legal channels. Afghanistan remains unstable. Decades of war, a struggling economy, and governance in disarray create a volatile situation. This isn't just Afghanistan's problem, it impacts the entire region. Pakistan is directly affected by Afghanistan's turmoil, whether it's militant activity, economic strain, or the burden of an unregulated refugee influx. Essentially, a key Pakistani argument is, how can we host so many people from a country that has no cohesive government or accountability? Afghanistan's current Taliban administration is seen in Islamabad as a fragmented and opaque regime, a far cry from a normal state with which to coordinate security and refugee matters. The Taliban's interim government lacks many institutional structures. It operates more as a collection of loosely connected emirates run by local commanders than a centralized nation-state. Provincial Taliban leaders wield significant autonomy. For example, provincial heads like Al-Aswal, a local Taliban figure, govern their areas with only loose directives from the center, highlighting the ad hoc nature of governance. There is no elected parliament, no constitution, and no formalized law beyond the edicts of the Taliban's supreme leader. For Pakistan, this fragmented setup across the border is deeply unsettling. Without a conventional government to engage with, Islamabad sees a vacuum of responsibility. When Pakistani authorities ask Kabul to rein in extremists or to manage refugee documentation, there is often no clear chain of command on the Afghan side. One day they deal with the Taliban interior minister in Kabul, another day the real power broker might be a shadowy provincial chief or a cleric in Kandahar. This lack of governance infrastructure makes it nearly impossible to vet or monitor Afghan citizens on Pakistani soil. Pakistani officials point out that many Afghan refugees carry no valid passports or ID. Some may have Afghan citizen cards or proof of registration documents issued years ago, while others have nothing at all. Verifying identities or criminal backgrounds under these conditions is a nightmare for law enforcement. In short, Pakistan argues that it cannot indefinitely host a large population from a country where authority is so diffuse and unaccountable. Without institutions and, without a constitutional framework, how can Pakistan allow uncontrolled migration from such a country? Pakistani authorities justify this stance with pointed questions. Can any nation allow millions of foreigners to remain indefinitely, especially when those foreigners hail from a state with an unrecognized government and ongoing conflict? Afghanistan operates under a system of decrees, not a constitution. The absence of legal institutions means there's no formal protection, no structured governance, and no way to ensure stability. That's why Pakistan insists, return home. This uncertainty in Afghanistan isn't Pakistan's burden to bear. And this issue isn't exclusively limited to Pakistan. Across the world, nations are tightening immigration policies. The Brexit vote was largely driven by concerns over uncontrolled migration from the European Union. Many British citizens felt they were losing control over their own borders. Whereas in the US, President Trump made immigration enforcement a cornerstone of his policy, strengthening border security to protect national interests. Pakistan is following a global pattern, protecting its national security by ensuring its borders are not open to unchecked migration. The message is simple. Pakistan cannot accommodate an indefinite influx of refugees. With Afghanistan's unstable governance, Pakistan's national security concerns, and global immigration policies tightening, the decision is firm. Refugees must return home. As nations worldwide secure their borders, Pakistan does the same. It's not just policy, it's necessity. Stay tuned for more updates on PolicyWire.